Peace and love, creatives. Today we are going to be making a card, and we're going to be using acrylic gouache for the paint, and we're also going to open up these paintbrushes that I got from Craft Ammo over a year ago, and it was curated by an artist called Ham Rib Art. She is on YouTube, and I'll put her information in the description. This is her art, and this is how you can find her. And the paintbrushes that are in this set are a 2-inch round, a 4-inch round, a 3/8 round, flat, an 8, a size 10, and a 1-inch. I don't really need these paintbrushes. I'm just trying to get out of the habit of treating my art supplies so precious that I don't use them. Now here I'm just taking the sizing off of the paintbrush. I recommend any new paintbrush that you get, you kind of clean it off with a little bit of water before you start your painting, because they usually have sizing on it. The sizing is made for the paintbrush to travel without it getting ruined. So I'm just going to pre-wet my entire page and change the back, like the color of the paper, to a yellow. My initial thought was I was going to create like a nice glowy yellow background, and it quickly changed, and that's okay. Like sometimes you have an idea of where you want to go with an art piece, and you end up just, making like a detour and going up some crazy road that might lead you towards a dead end. Let's hope that does not happen with this painting. So yeah, this year has been a fantastic year. I've had a lot of fun playing with new art supplies and being curious about newer art supplies and purchasing said art supplies, and we just need to start using these art supplies. Well, I need to start using them. So number one, I treat these acrylic gouache like they're precious as well, and it's like I don't want to use them, and they're gonna go bad if I don't use them. What am I thinking? I just don't know. It's so silly. But I also would like to compare these with the other acrylic gouache that I own, because these are definitely runnier, and I feel like you need to add water to them, but I don't know if it's as much water as I would add to let's say my Liquitex acrylic gouache. You know what I mean? So I don't know. I'm curious about that. Maybe I'll do a video next year comparing the different types of acrylic gouache that I have in my collection. Yeah, at this point it's a collection if I'm not using it, right? Yeah. So it's pretty simple as far as like this gnome is concerned. I sketched him in my sketchbook, and then I transferred him onto my paper that I'm using here. Now this is that same watercolor paper that I purchased on Amazon that came in like a pack, and I'm still testing the waters on it. I like the way it works. It's nice. It's definitely I don't know how to explain it. Like if you take a cold pressed watercolor page from Arches and you throw watercolor on it, it behaves very differently than this paper. But that doesn't mean that this paper is bad. It just means that this paper is different, and I think it's important to know that when you're making your art on these different kinds of paper, because you might want to do a specific painting or like technique on this paper, and it might not work for this paper. So you should definitely keep that in mind, and maybe even make notes somewhere with your papers if you're forgetful like me, so that you know what each watercolor paper that you own can do. Like for me, if I'm going to use a hard hot pressed watercolor paper, chances are I'm going to be working on something that doesn't need like blooms or anything like that, because this definitely it just doesn't behave like cold press does. So hot press I would usually use for gouache and paint like that, just because of the nature of the paper and I guess the lack of absorption that hot press has as opposed to cold press, in my opinion. So I think that it's really important to know the kind of paper that you are playing with and play accordingly. So let's talk a little bit about the gnome. I recently painted a gnome on a Christmas ornament, but it was just his face. And I feel like I wasn't fulfilled. So I decided to make a card with a gnome on it, but I wanted to give him this fun plaid jacket because why not? And I want to play more with this pattern, this plaid pattern, because I feel like it's so much fun to make and to put on characters. But not only do I just want to play with this pattern, I want to be able to, like, my goal is basically to be able to get like folds and like texture while I'm making it. I didn't do it here because this is a very, very simple painting, but I definitely would like to make a character that has a little bit more movement in the image and attempt to make a nice textured, I don't know, maybe skirt, plaid skirt or something. So I was very brave here and decided that I would do my line work with a paintbrush. Let me tell you, I have taken leaps and bounds with my art journey, and I'm just very proud of myself. Number one, for not giving up, but number two, for being able to absorb the techniques that I need to move forward in my art journey. It hasn't been easy, and it's been very, very stressful, but it's been stressful for the reasons you probably wouldn't think, or maybe you would, depending on if you're in the same boat as me, to be honest with you. And my biggest hurdle that I end up having to jump over, not on a daily basis, but a lot, is feeling like I'm not good enough. You know, you see all these creators who make these wonderful pieces and you're always second guessing yourself. And I'm here to say, art is an acquired taste. Your art, my art, is beautiful. Everyone's art is beautiful. Everyone's art is going to be received by someone and loved by someone. And we just have to keep moving forward. You know what I mean? We're going to keep persevering. And we're going to move on to the giveaway. So I'm going to give away this set of HOLBEIN acrylic gouache and this cute little sketchbook for you to practice in. How cute is it? I want to thank you for watching, and I hope you have a wonderful day. Peace and love.